it's the first time on this channel. I was just advertising it earlier on my main channel. Not mine, but you know, our main channel, me and Godzilla Freak. And he decided that I should make his Blue Eyes deck profile for him. So Blue Eyes is his favorite deck by far. And he loves the Blue Eyes, right? He loved it when Kaiba played it. It was really cool to him. So he decided, alright, Blue Eyes is kind of meta. This was back when it was considered the best deck in the game, before Zeus and everything. So like, okay, Blue Eyes are a meta deck. I love it. So he made this Blue Eyes deck. And, I mean, he didn't have too many cards in real life, but he made the best he could. Well, without any further ado, heads up though, this is a 44 card deck, and we might be going over some combos with it, I'm not sure. I'm going to be really discussing each card in the deck, so this is going to be a pretty long video. If you guys don't really like those longer videos, or you know a lot about the deck already, maybe this isn't for you. Just look at the deck list in the description. I probably left it, but I'm not sure, so let's get started with the deck profile for Blue Eyes. Alright, so first card of the deck is we're running 3 copies of the vanilla Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, this is what lets the deck function. This is your 3K beater that requires 2 tributes. The card the Kaiba summoned 3 of in the first episode of Duel Monsters, or I think it was the 24th episode of Season 0. It was amazing. That's the Blue Eyes White Dragon card. It's just a vanilla beater, but there's a lot of synergies with this card. Next up, we're running 3 copies of Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. This card, all you have to do is reveal a Blue Eyes in your hand, one of the vanillas. Then you can special summon the alternative. But keep in mind, it has to be like the actual vanilla Blue Eyes, so you can't do a spear or anything. You have to have the OG Blue Eyes, and then you special summon the alternative. Its stats are the same as the original Blue Eyes. It cannot be normal summoned or set. And this card, once per turn, you can use it to pop a card, and it just can't attack the turn you do that. So this deck really does, like, you know, XC summoning and Synchro summoning. So you just pop something and then you use it to do a Synchro or an XC summon, and the can't attack really isn't an issue anymore. Next card we're running is 2 copies of Spirit Dragon. I used to play at 1. I feel like 2 is just better. You still like the card. And this one is weaker. It's a 2500 body. But when this card is summoned, you can banish 1 set, or I don't think it's set actually, 1 spell or trap your opponent controls. So a back row, you can pop 1, banishes, so Paleos aren't going to get the thing going. And also with this card, you can, what was it again? Oh yeah, this card is always a vanilla. I think, no, it's a vanilla in certain areas. Like, yeah, it's a vanilla when you need it to be a vanilla, okay? When you need this card to be a vanilla in your deck, it's a vanilla. I think it's like always treated as a Blue Eyes or something. I don't remember, but this card is really good with the deck. So, next, this is what I believe to be the best card. Most people say another card is the best card, but I think this card is the best card. We're running 3 copies of the White Stone of Ancients. This card is absolutely amazing. What this card does is, okay, if it's in your graveyard and it was sent there this turn, during the end phase, you can special summon a Blue Eyes from your deck. So you can just special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon from the deck in the end phase. It's so good. You can just summon a Blue Eyes, boom, right there in your end phase. That's a 3K beater your opponent has to get over. Sure, it doesn't have effect protection, but it's still a beater your opponent has to get rid of. And when they get rid of it, it goes to the grave, and you can do stuff like that, unless they banish it or something. And also this card, if it's in the graveyard, because the end phase effect, it stays in the graveyard, and on your next turn you can then banish it from your graveyard and search a Blue Eyes, add it from the graveyard back to your hand. So if they destroy your Blue Eyes, now you get to add it back to the hand again. So it's sort of, it's a +1, okay? If you send this card to the graveyard, it's a +1 because you're able to special something from the deck and then add something from grave to hand. Next up, we're running one White Stone of Legend, not the ancient one. This one basically, when popped, add a Blue Eyes from deck to hand, not in the end phase or anything, it's just when popped. It is only the vanilla Blue Eyes, but if you drew an alternative and you have a way to discard it or get it out of your hand in any way, boom, free Blue Eyes, and you can summon an alternative like that. This is also a tuner, right? This and the ancient are both tuners. As well as this next card, we're playing 3 Sage with Eyes of Blue. This card is absolutely amazing. All you gotta do is normal summon the card, and when you normal summon Sage, you get to search any real like tuner, any light tuner I think is in your deck. Your deck plays light tuner, so that's really good. You get to search off of it. And also you can discard the card and then turn one card on the field and special summon a Blue Eyes instead. I don't remember where you're summoning from. I think it's the hand, but if you really need a Blue Eyes on the board and you're afraid you're just going to die next turn, it is a way to do something. If you have like extra sages or something, you can use it like that. Or you already burned your normal summon and you just have like an extra monster on board, one of the stones, you can do it like that as well. Next, we're playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom. This card is absolutely amazing. Basically, every deck it needs to run it currently because it negates everything. It's an out, okay? They search out that, they special summon from the deck, it outs that. They send from the deck to the grave, it outs that. So it outs so much that is just an amazing card in general. You gotta play that 3 Ash Blossoms. It's also level 3 tuner, meaning we can make Star Eater with it, which is a card we're running in the extra deck, okay? So Ash is amazing. We're also playing 2 Ogre because Ogre actually destroys whatever it negates. So it serves a different purpose. Also, you know, you can only run 3 Ash, so the other 2 are playing Ogres. It negates monster effect and actually destroys them. That's really good. Next up, we're playing, just gonna close the door real quick. We're playing the one Scumbag Hand Trap. We're playing a Maxx because it's just Maxx. It's a floodgate and a hand trap. It's a hand floodgate, and it lets you draw and net so much advantage, or it just stops your opponent's play completely. And if you stop their play and you're playing Blue Eyes going second, the main deck is mainly for going second. If you can stop their play with Blue Eyes and you're going second, then it's really easy to just boom, kill your opponent with damage because all your monsters are so powerful, alright? Next, we're playing 3 copies of the Galaxy Soldier. This is our Infinity engine. You just go pitch 1 Galaxy Soldier, pitch 1 Galaxy Soldier, Nova, Infinity, and then you get all the benefits of Infinity, which we will discuss by the time we get there, but Galaxy Soldier is so good as it also discards light monsters like the stones, which you want in your graveyard. And then after that, we have one more engine. It is the Arkbrave Dragon Goliath engine. So let's just get back to that in a little bit. Alright, I just realized how much of a pain this is going to be for Godzilla Freak to edit. But it's whatever. He wanted me to make the video. He's going to have pain editing the thing. So we're going to talk about the Arkbrave Goliath engine. Basically what the engine is you pitch the Arkbrave Dragon and a Goliath, which is a pendulum card from the deck or anywhere really. You pitch them to the graveyard, and then what they do is on the next standby phase, or your opponent's standby phase, you activate Arkbrave Dragon's effect to special summon the Goliath onto the board. And the Goliath makes it so you can't access the extra deck except for, what is it, like weird monsters that no one plays. It's like the archetype Goliath belongs to this archetype up here. That's the only thing you can summon from, so it locks your opponent out of their extra deck until they out the card. And then on your turn, you don't really care because you can activate this on your opponent's turn because of Arkbrave Dragon. And it is a 2750 beater, so you just blast them away with damage. And if they're playing, for example, Burning Abyss or Spirals, if you lock them out of their extra deck, what are they going to do to out your Goliath? Was it 2850 or 2750? I'm not sure, because this really actually matters in your Spiral matchup. So if it's 2750, it loses to Sleeper, so that kind of sucks. But if it's 2850, it doesn't lose to Sleeper, and you just win off of it. Okay? If it's 2850, the Spirals can't do anything. Like, what are they going to do to out you? What card do they have that just pops you out? I don't think there is any, really. That doesn't access the extra. They can't use double helix. You slow them down completely. So this really does shut down Spirals, and there's a good way to get this. Next up, speaking of those, we're playing 3 Trade-In. Trade-In shuffles your deck, it thins your deck, and it also gives you discard. So Trade-In, it can discard your alternative, it can discard Spirit, it can discard your vanilla Blue-Eyes, it can discard the Arkbrave, the Goliath. So there are a ton of cards you can discard because, okay, you're running 3 alternative, 3 vanilla, 2 spear, 1 Goliath. That's 10 cards your deck can use Trade-In conjunction with. And the chances of drawing 10 cards in a 44 card deck is somewhere around 70%. So if you're drawing the Trade-In, chances are you are also having some form of level 8. There's also ways to search them, so that chance actually increases even further. So yeah, the chances are you're going to be able to get off Trade-In. And if you, for example, Trade-In for Blue-Eyes, then you can use something like Silver Scry to bring the Blue-Eyes back. Or you can do it with Arkbrave, and then on the next standby phase, even if you don't have Goliath engraved, which you could as well, if you drew 2 Trade-In or some other way to get rid of the Goliath, like Twin Twisters, then you can do the Goliath play, or you can just use Arkbrave to special summon another Blue-Eye. So there's a lot of synergy there with the Trade-In, and you are breaking even, so it's sort of like a better upstart with a condition where that has to be met. But if that condition is met, you're able to get that 1 discard and then draw 2s to break it even. So next up, we're playing 2 copies of Cards of Consonance for the same reason that we're playing Trade-In, except in this case, we're discarding 1 of the stones because that's the target for Consonance. Now, there's only 4 stones in the deck, and Save searches it, so in reality, there's like 7. So it's less consistent. That's why we're playing 2. A lot of people dropped it down to 1. I know that World Champion played it at 3, but that's because he also played Master, and I don't have Master in this deck, as you saw in the Monsters category. So Cards of Consonance, we're playing at 2, not 1, because it's still a really good card because you're popping a stone, and as I said, the stones really like to go to the grave. The regular stone, it just searches 1. The ancient stone, okay, so you have to be constant. That breaks you even. Then the ancient stone gets 2 Blue-Eyes if its full effect's activated. That's a +2, which is broken. Because Blue-Eyes have a hard time plussing, right? They're not all about the pluses and getting a mad amount of monsters. It's more like getting high-quality monsters with Blue-Eyes. Getting level 8, 3k beaters that your opponent has a hard time getting over. That's what Blue-Eyes does. So being able to do this is amazing. And in case you haven't noticed, we're not playing the Chaos Maxx. Chaos Maxx is like a noob trap. We are playing the Infinity Engine because it's just too good not to play. But as for Chaos Maxx, sure, you can just kill your opponent with it. If they have defense, you can just FTK them with your blue eyes. But it's not consistent enough to pull off. And when you do, it's pretty cool, but it's not really that good. Whereas with Galaxy Soldier, if you get one Galaxy Soldier and they don't Ash Blossom your Surge, you're basically guaranteed to get the Infinity off. And even if you don't, you are discarding a light. And if you're discarding, say for example, one of the stones, the stone itself likes to be discarded. And it is a tribute fodder. If it comes down to you needing to tribute, you can't do that. So it's not actually much of a neg, because again, you can activate the stones in the grave, so it is consistent. And if they don't hand trap you, you just get 2 Galaxy Soldier, put them together, and then, you know, Nova Infinity, and you win. There's countless times you can win with the Infinity, and it is just a 1-card combo. You do need 2 lights, but considering basically your entire deck is lights, including the Ghost Ogre, just not Ash Blossom, Maxx, I don't think Goliath is a light, so you're playing a total of 5 cards that are not lights. The rest of your entire monster diamond is light, so you have a really good chance of getting the effect off. Next up, we're going to be talking about how we play 2 Dragon's Ravine. Dragon's Ravine is an amazing card in the deck. I've seen people drop it to 1. I still play it 2. 3 is kind of weird because the card is really good turn 1, and it gets a lot worse as time goes on. Like turn 2, it's way less good than turn 1. It's still okay. Turn 3 is just trash. Turn 4, it's like, get that out of my sight. So that's how Dragon's Ravine works. But turn 1, you want to draw the Dragon's Ravine, but you don't want more than 1 copy, really. So you just play at 2. You know, you probably won't draw 2 copies, and it's not the end of the world if you do. And you have a decent chance of seeing it when you want to see it. So when you play Dragon's Ravine, what it does is you can pitch a dragon from deck to grave. So you can pitch one of the stones. And if it's a vanilla, so you can pitch another one. So if you have, for example, a Silver Cry, which I play in the deck, I know it's kind of inconsistent, but it's a really good card. So what you can do is you can pitch a Blue Eyes and then pitch a stone and use Silver Cry to bring back the Blue Eyes, and you still have your stone. So that makes sure that Silver Cry isn't as dead as it would be. So that's a really good card. We're playing 2 Ravine, and now we're playing 3 Melody. Melody is Lord of D rocking out that guitar, you know. I have no idea why Lord of D is called Lord of D. In the Japanese version is Lord of Dragons. So yeah, it's Lord of Dragon. Why is it Lord of D? Makes no sense. Okay, so with Melody, you discard a card and then you search 2. You can search 2 Blue Eyes. So realistically, you're going to search the vanilla and you're going to search an alternative. Even if you have the vanilla, you want to get rid of the vanilla with like a trade-in. So for the most part, sometimes you just search 2 alternative, but most of the time you're going to search a vanilla and you're going to search an alternative because vanilla has more synergy in the graveyard. And then, so you can just get a free summon for your alternative. Again, if you pitch something like the stone, we don't play Master, so the stones, they activate their effects in graveyard. Pitch Arkbrave Dragon, that activates. So it's really good to pitch stuff with this card, and the 2 you're drawing gives you a 3/3K beater that can pop 1, and then you use to Xyz or Synchro summon. That's really a good play. You definitely want to see the Melody going first or second, really, on your first turn. Next up, to continue with the discards, we're playing 2 Twin Twisters. Cosmic Cyclone is debatably better because of how much floats that spells and traps have nowadays, but I still like to play my 2 Twin Twisters because the discard, you know, because, okay, so you play Twin Twisters, pop 2, send the stone, the ancient one, so you break even there, and the stone pluses you 2. Even if the 2 spell and traps float, it still breaks even because of that stone. That's how good Ancients is. In my opinion, best card in the deck. Godzilla Freak thinks so too. That's why he likes it so much. That's why he has so much stuff that can work with it. And then next we're playing 2 Silver's Cry. Silver's Cry, it's a monster reborn for your graveyard's Blue Eyes and Spirit. So there's only 5 targets for it. We're playing 2 though because you can use Ravine to get it out of the deck, or you can. There's options to get out of the deck or into your hand. Stone searches Blue Eyes, and if you pitch Blue Eyes after that, then you can use Silver Cry. So a lot of people say it's sort of a brick. For me, I've never really bricked Silver Cry. I've drawn 2 Silver Cry before, and I've been able to use both of them. So that's just how it works with me, at least. I find that it's really easy to pitch enough for Silver Cry to be effective. Next, we're playing 1 copy of Soul Charge, the limit to 1. Soul Charge is an amazing card, and when you're fighting a downhill battle and you send a lot of stuff to your graveyard, you XC summon, Synchro summon, and they get outed, you just use Soul Charge, bring them all back, and it isn't affected by the link zone, so you can have multiple Synchros all at once all of a sudden, and you just kill your opponent with that Soul Charge the next turn if they can't out your board. You have the Infinity, you can suck something up and use that thing to negate. It's too good. Soul Charge is absolutely amazing in the deck. There were times where I kept it in my hand, I didn't reveal it to my opponent. Of course I wouldn't, why would I? And basically, this is a story that Zelfrey told me. There was this one time he purposely let his Galaxy-Eyes and stuff die. He didn't protect them with his other cards, so then he could use the effect of the Soul Charge to bring them all back at the same time after a few turns has passed and completely destroy his opponent, completely lock them out of their plays, and next turn just kill them with that Soul Charge. It's absolutely amazing. When I was playing this deck, I've done it myself. Soul Charge is an absolutely broken card, with the only cost being skipping your battle phase and the life points. But this deck, for the most part, it can stay alive. Again, this is going second variant of the deck. You would play Soul Charge going first as well. It's just too good of a card. Basically, every single deck in the game likes to play this card. Even when evenly matched is now the main board wipe and it banishes, it's still just, it's too good not to play a Soul Charge. It gives you so much advantage. It's broken. You have to play it. Last card we're playing 3 copies of Return of the Dragon Lords, previously called like Goblet or something. This card just revive a level 7 or a level 8 in the graveyard. So you can revive the Goliath and lock your opponent out of the extra deck. And then when you do that, you know, there's no cost at all. It's way better than Silver's Cry objectively. It's not a quick play, but it's a broke card. And then also, if one of those cards you control, not even the card you just bring back, a level 7 or 8 dragon you control would be destroyed, you can banish it from the grave and protect the card. So it's just amazing. It's really good of a card. And you want this card in the grave as soon as possible, so use it if you have it. You don't want to save it. As long as you have something like a Blue Eyes, you don't want to save it to bring out some really broken card from the graveyard like the Goliath, because you don't need to. You just use it as soon as possible to get its protection effect, because it protects all your big guys, you know. It protects your Blue Eyes, so then when you use Ancients, it's Deadliers that they can't out it as easily. It's a really good card. Play it. You'll be successful with it. There's no real right way to play the card. It's just have a Blue Eyes, you know, get the one you want to use the effect of, and just use it on the first turn if you can. Use it at the earliest turn possible. Don't just like use it really early. If you can get a better one in grade that turn, use it later that turn, but use it as early turn-wise as possible. So next we're going to be going over to the extra deck. In the extra deck, we play only one Spirit Dragon, one Blue-Eye Spirit Dragon. I found Spirit, like, I can't really make as much with the deck because I don't run Master anymore. And that's what Godzilla Freak says, at least. He played it a lot more than me. From my experience also, I don't really make Spirit all too often. But when you do, it's really good. So you play that Spirit, you can negate an effect of your opponent in their grave. It's really good. And using its second effect, you can pitch it, special summon a level 7. Or special summon any level dragon. So in the deck, we play Azure-Eyes and what else? And Clearwing, Synchro Dragon, and Moonlight for this. So Azure-Eyes, what Azure-Eyes does is in her standby phase, special summon Vanilla Blue-Eyes, or something like that. Summon something really broke, okay? That's what the effect is. Summon something for basically free. And do that, and you net advantage off of it. And or you can use the Spirit Dragon to go into your Moonlight or Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Clearwing Synchro Dragon is the objectively better card because you get negate with it, and if something targets you, you can do this twice, so you can negate the inherent effect of a level 5 or higher, or if it's targeted by a level 5 or higher, you can negate the effect. It destroys the card and gains attack. It's really good. Or you can use Moonlight Dragon to bounce something and keep bouncing things. And the main purpose of those is if you get another level 1 tuner in hand, which we don't run Veiler, we don't run Master, so it's not too often, but you can normal summon it, go into Crystal Wing, and Crystal Wing is just absolutely broken. It's a 3k beater, negate, gain attack, attack, gain attack, and just destroy your opponent with Crystal Wing. That's the main purpose of the Synchro engine. The last Synchro I play is one copy of Star Eater. I play the Star Eater because I do run the level 3 hand traps, and when I use the hand traps and the opponent has burned their hand, I don't see really a use for them at that point. I normal summon it, I do it with a Blue-Eyes or any level 8, and I go into my I go into Star Eater as good protection. It doesn't get negated, and it get negate effects in the battle, and the damage step and stuff, so it's really good. It's a 3200 beater, so it gets over the Dark Destroyer. It gets over, okay, Towers is banned, and it doesn't get over Towers, but it gets over Dark Destroyer, so that makes it good. It also gets over Dragon Buster, so, I mean, if ABCs do get better, yeah, it gets over that as well. You can get over Sleeper, when your entire deck gets over Sleeper. Yeah. And then, after that, moving on to the Xyz engine of the deck, we're playing the one Hieratic thing. I don't remember. It's like a Hieratic Sun Dragon. I don't exactly remember. Oh yeah, this card, you tribute cards on the field and in your hand, and then pop cards on your opponent's field equal to that. This can let you go for game. If you don't pitch too much from your hand, or pitch cards you like to go to the grave, then you can summon an alternative. For example, you board wipe your opponent, and you just kill them for over 5,000 damage, like 6,000 something, whatever. And if they drop their life points or something, you can get mad damage, okay? You get mad damage with this card. It's sort of a board wipe, kind of. Not really. Next, we're playing one copy of Protector. So, it's like the Owls and a Protector thing. This one, you declare a card name. Then, basically, you declare a card that's not even your deck. So then you draw that card, see what it is. It's not going to be it, so it's going to be sent to the graveyard. And then it gets to activate its effect of when something's sent to the graveyard. Target one card on the field. So you target something your opponent has, and then you return it to the top or bottom of the deck. It's really good removal. You do the bottom of the deck, it's screwed. If it's an extra deck monster, still just put it at the bottom of the deck. They're done. That's an easy removal. It only has 2300 body, but That's still a good body. It gets over double helix, so it's not bad. It kind of sucks for a rank 8, but still. We do not run the Felzagar, or whatever you call it, that lets you like negate effects. We do, however, run Harbinger Titanic Galaxy Dragon, number 38. This card is amazing. You can negate a spell. Now, this deck doesn't run any Link monsters, so unless you have, what do you call it? Unless you have Soul Charge, its third effect won't really activate. Its second effect, you can detach one, which you're going to have a surplus of because you keep negating your opponent's spells, and it acts as Xyz material. You can detach an Xyz material, then you can change a monster's attack target. So if they attack one of your stones that you normal summon for some reason, you can change it to the number 38, and chances are they're not getting over the number 38, so that's good. Also, when an Xyz monster is destroyed, a face-up one, I'm pretty sure it's only on your side, but I'm not exactly sure, you can give its attack to another one, so if you do Soul Charge that one's useful as well. And if you're playing the Link version of Scapegoats, which I also have, which I've also made, Godzilla Freak has all the Blue Eyes decks. That's the thing as well. Next up, we're playing the Galaxy-Eyes engine. So we're playing this Neo Galaxy-Eyes card. This card, what it does is it uses 2 level 8s. That's all you need, and it's Galaxy-Eyes. Because what you're going to do is you're going to overlay the full armor on top of the card, and what that's going to do is you're going to detach one from it, and you're going to pop a card your opponent controls. Then, on top of that, you're going to put on Dark Matter, and Dark Matter's effect's going to activate, allowing you to pitch 3 from your deck. You're going to pitch your Arkbrave Dragon, your Goliath, this is the engine we just had, and also a stone of some sort, or just any other card. And then, next standby phase, Arkbrave Dragon's effect activates, you special summon Goliath, lock your opponent out of their extra deck, your Dark Matter is on the board, and it's a 4K beater. You can attack twice by detaching Xyz material, which again you'll have a surplus of, because you're not doing that too much. It's not straight 2 attacks, it's 2 attacks on monsters, so that sort of limits you, but it's really good. So then you just lock your opponent out, and they're just screwed. You get Goliath on the board. It's really a strong combo, and your opponent, they're locked. They're floodgated when this happens. And the last cards we play are Cyber Dragon Nova. You make it with Galaxy Soldier. You don't really use its effect in this deck because it's not Cyber Dragons. Then you overlay Infinity on top of Nova. Infinity's absolutely broken. What you do with Infinity is, well, everyone knows this, but I'm saying it anyways. You can attach something from most like your opponent, but you can do your own field as well, and then detach it. So that's also a play. You can attach a stone, but you're gonna attach a face-up attack position monster onto the card as Xyz material, and then you can also negate an effect. So if they have something that negates your ability, you can then negate their negate, and you get to suck them up. And the negate is also a quick effect by detaching Xyz material, and it also gains attack for each Xyz material it has. And since it's going to be using its Xyz material, also replenishes it and gains attack for each one, 200 to be precise. So Infinity's actually a broken card. And last card we're playing the extra deck, we're playing 1 Twin Burst Dragon because it is a contact fusion, so it's a good card. If you don't want to make a rank 8, you can make the Twin Burst. It does 2 attacks, and if it attacks something it doesn't get over, you can just banish it after, so that's really good. It can be an out to something. Usually Eisen is better, but it is a playable card in the deck. It takes 2 Blue Eyes to make, and when you are winning, it is much better than like the Eisen. It's better than even like I would say Dark Matter is better, but it can attack directly too, so you can attack directly twice if you block your opponent enough. So Dark Matter is objectively better. Honestly, you could play another one of the Neo Galaxy-Eyes that takes 2 level 8. I'm just playing the Twin Burst because it's a cool card. Godzilla Freak says that too. Is like, yeah, Neo Galaxy-Eyes would be better. And another Dark Matter too, but then it's like, he doesn't have that. So basically what he says is he's not going to pop up a full armor. He's going to go straight to Dark Matter, and then he can do the play again except with full armor, which is also something you can do. But Twin Burst it's a cool card. Just play the card. 2 attacks, you know, you can attack twice directly, that's 6,000 damage. Sort of like the Powerball and OTK with Cyber Dragon if you really think about it. So, yeah, play the card if you want. It's really fun. Next, moving on to the side deck, I'm just going to blitz through this. 3 draw lock bird. When your opponent does a search or a draw outside of their draw phase, you can activate this card. They cannot search or draw for the rest of the turn. And it's a hand trap, so it's amazing. It's a level 1, but it's not a tuner, so don't think about plays like that. I used to play a Formula Synchron in the deck. Azure Freak was like, brother, that's trash. Don't do that. Just save it for other stuff, so yeah. Next card we're playing, because that was 3 copies, we're playing 1 copy of Zone Eater. It is one of the best removal cards in the game because it destroys the card 5 turns after it's attacked rather than on the initial turn. Really good card. After that, we're playing 3 copies of Solemn Strike. One, a monster will be summoned or a monster effect activated. Pay 1,500, negate, and if you do destroy. That's just amazing. Actually, does it have the if you do destroy? Yeah, it does. So, like, pay 1,500. It's also spell speed 3, so they can't really chain on it unless they have, like, Dark Bride or Solemn of Vice or something. So, basically, they try to summon negate. Also, we're playing a warning because this also negates the spells that do a summon. So, that's really good. So, yeah, 2,000 life points doesn't matter, so this locks your opponent out since we're expecting, because if we lose, you know, we get to go first, so these are more of the going first card. We're also playing 3D barrier because once we know what our opponent is playing, we can completely lock them out if we don't get the Goliath lock to begin with, because, you know, it's not too uncommon to draw one of the 2 because there are 2 engine pieces that you want to keep in the deck. But it's also not too hard to discard them after that. So, pick our choose. D-Barrier is really good. And also after that D-Barrier, we're playing, let me count this real quick. 4 plus 4, that's 8, plus 3, that's 11. So we're playing 4 more cards in the side deck. I don't exactly remember what they are, though. You can actually improvise with this part. Like, I got nothing really too important at this point. We got our strike. Oh, yeah, you can play on 2 Struggling Battle because Struggling Battle is a really good card. And Evenly Matched, now it's called, in TCG. Banish, it's a really broke board wipe. And you play Regeki. And I think after that, we play our, Dark Hole, or maybe that's the entire thing. So, side deck, it's just a side deck, so, yeah. I could have made it a bit better, but you Stroll Lock for the Spiral matchup, D-Barrier for the Pendulum Magician matchup, and for the Trickstar matchup. What are you going to do with the Trickstar matchup? Like, Trickstar is a really weird deck because the core is so tiny that they can do anything with Trickstars. Like, it's too annoying. D-Barrier also outs your Paleos matchup. Usually you can out True Dracos by just attacking them. And yeah, Trickstar matchup, that's sort of like the hardest part. But usually you just OTK the Trickstar matchup because their monsters aren't that strong. So, yeah, you don't really lose to it. So, I mean, this was really long, so I guess combo's next video. That's going to be all for today, guys. Thank you all. Goodbye.